Gruesome Magazine.
Hello once again, I'm Doc Rodden and this is Gruesome Magazine. We will review the very latest in streaming and video on-demand horror movies. Each week my co-hosts Jeff Mohr, Crystal Cleveland, Dave Dreher, Christopher G. Mohr, and myself will take a look at various spooky, scary, and gory genre offerings. Tonight we are reviewing See For Me, streaming now on SHUDDER. Joining me tonight is my co-host Jeff Mohr. Welcome back, sir. How are you doing?
I'm back.
Yes, you are. And the crowd
Smile.
wild.
That's
And so, when you've been gone from home for a long time, you spend the next 2 weeks having appointments and haircuts and car services and all kinds of stuff. You just don't feel sorry for me.
I don't.
It's great to be back. It is. It's great to be back. I'm looking forward to this.
Excellent.
Yay.
Also joining us this week is Crystal Cleveland, the living dead girl. How you doing, Crystal?
I'm doing great. It does seem like it's been a while for us too now.
Yeah, March was a bit brutal, so we took
Yeah.
a couple weeks off.
Busy.
Yeah.
Got stuff to do. Mm-hmm.
The
Stuff
Ides of
other than
March.
this, even though I was just like patiently waiting, hoping.
Patiently.
Yeah.
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 I mean, also joining us is award-winning filmmaker Christopher G. Mohr. How you doing, sir?
Or CGM for you instead
Oh,
of
what?
C for me. Yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
I'm doing well.
Wow.
I'm doing well.
They call that
Glad to see Jeff's beautiful face
Yeah.
back on the pod.
Look at his camera. Your camera looks.
You didn't
really
get the very good look at me, did you?
All right, guys.
I appreciate it. You too, Chris.
All right, tonight we are going to be reviewing See For Me. Again, it's streaming on Shudder. What we're going to be doing is giving our first impression. That will be spoiler-free, and then we're going to dive into a discussion. We will get into spoilers. You have been warned. And then we'll wrap things up with our final thoughts, our score, 1 to 5, and our favorite scene. And, of course, we hope you enjoy not only this review, but many others that we have on the site. If you want to help us out, it's easy and free to do. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button.
Yep.
Share with a friend. We will be so thankful. We will. And of course, above all, leave some comments. We'd love to hear what you think of this film and many others.
Yep.
All right. So before we dive in, let's take a look at the CAD, shall we?
The
All
CAD?
right. The CAD. It's parked in the backyard. See For Me. Available streaming on Shudder beginning April 7th, 2022. Directed by Randall Okita. Writers are Adam York and Tommy Gushu. Yeah, Gushu. The cast includes Skylar Davenport, Natalie Brown, and Kim Coates. The last name you should recognize. Synopsis is when blind former skier Sophie cat sits in a secluded mansion, 3 thieves invade for a hidden safe. Sophie's only defense is an Army veteran, Kelly. Kelly helps Sophie defend herself against the invaders to survive.
You didn't put Kelly on there. Like she's my favorite. I love her.
Yeah, I did.
Jessica Parker Kennedy.
Yep, Jessica Parker Kennedy. Thank you.
She's wonderful. Sorry.
No, she is. She absolutely is. All right, so let's find out what our first impressions are. Christopher and G. Mohr, why don't you start us off?
You know what? The very beginning of the movie, I got a little bit nervous. And I got a little bit nervous, I guess, just based on the introduction of this main character, who's this sort of extremely stubborn young girl. But I think once we get into the midst of her situation, her going to this cat sitting, without giving a lot away, it's just she's going to this place to cat sit for this lady. It gets more interesting and intriguing as it goes along, and I think the introduction of an app where you can have someone look for you, I think is a really cool idea, and I think once we get in the midst of it, I really love the incorporation of that, just how it all connects, because you have this woman on the other line who's a video gamer, and she's basically it's almost like she's playing a video game at some point. And I mean, I love that aspect of it. And I think the way the story plays out, it's kind of interesting. It doesn't really go the normal route, because because her character is so like she doesn't know what she wants, I guess, as a person or whatever, and she's dealing with her situation. But yeah, I thought it was a really interesting story. I would say this doesn't feel horror. This is more, I guess, thriller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and then there's not really a lot of blood. I think the only time we see a little bit of blood, it's more in darkness. But I love the way the story plays out and the different characters that she runs into. And by the end, I was actually kind of smiling.
No, nice.
The way it ends. So, but yeah, I really enjoyed the story of this. Even though I was in the very beginning, I was like, oh, I'm not sure I could take more of this girl's character. But I think she kind of won me over, and I really love the girl on the other side of the app, that character as well. So yeah, I really enjoyed this film.
Interesting. Crystal, what was your first impression of C for me?
So my sentiments pretty much mirror Christopher completely. Like when we first saw the girl, well, we don't really realize she's blind at first. I didn't know what the backstory was of it. And then, like before she leaves, you figure it out. And then I'm like, what is she doing? Oh my God, how is she going to do this? She's going to these people's homes and like dog sitting or cat sitting or watching their homes where she's in this new environment. How is she going to get around? I do think the app is a really cool concept and a cool idea. I like that. The funny thing is she was using her friend to do the same thing that the app does. So she already kind of had that support system before they even introduced the app, which I thought was kind of cool. I think I don't want to give anything. I guess I shouldn't give anything away, but I do think
spoilers.
Yeah, I do think it's cool how they made her character a little bit dark. Not too much, she's just maybe not all innocent and peaches and cream. But I like the way the story progresses, and I'm totally in agreement with Christopher with the whole gamer thing. Like they have this like moment where it really could have been, I think it could have even been gone to the next level with like the FPS kind of thing at the point. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. I was like, I was really hoping they didn't quite go there. I maybe it was just difficult. I don't know, but it would have been like, there's some really cool elements. It's tense. I felt tense at points, and I was like, so I think it's shot really well for being such a dark movie too. So I mean, it's a thriller, like Christopher said too. Totally agree. It's fun. It's a good movie, and it's unique. Yeah, enjoyed it.
All right, Jeff Morsler, what was your first impression of C for me?
I really enjoyed it as well, and I had a bit of apprehension at the beginning because it seems like it's sort of the thing to have, differently abled leads in horror movies now. I mean, we've had Hush, we've had A Quiet Place, we've had a bunch of other ones along those lines. So at first I was like, let's see where this is going. And I really liked the way that they did it. I thought that her attitude, Sophie's attitude, played by Skylar Davenport, was justifiable in a way based on she was a person that had a huge amount of drive and ambition that was taken away from her. So she was trying to get there on her own, and gotta admit her mom was a bit of a helicopter there. But yeah, I loved the tension. I thought the acting was good. I love Kim Coates. It's ever since Sons of Anarchy. He's I just love him. Plus, he played the gunslinger in Open Range.
He's been in all kinds of stuff.
But anyway, yeah, he's got a long list of credits. It had one of my pet peeves in there, but there was a little bit of justification for it, and I doubt that it would bother most people. It's just a thing that I just kind of.
You can't say yet, right? Spoiler.
No, I'll wait. Okay. I'll wait what that is. So,
okay.
But I really enjoyed it. I loved where it went from beginning to end, pretty much. Yeah, and I love the character that Jessica Parker Kennedy played. Good stuff.
Good stuff. All right. Well, I guess I'll put my poopy pants on. I thought it was well directed. I thought the cinematography was great. I like the cast, but I found this just incredibly dull. I did not get
Wow.
into the story. I really didn't like our lead character. The actress was fine, but the character was so obnoxious that I wasn't rooting for her at all. And I was a bit underwhelmed by the film, but it's not for the lack of trying, because technically it's actually really well made, but I didn't care for the story. I don't think that the I didn't really. The three guys bothered me that were in the house. It seemed strange,
Really?
and the whole thing with Kim Coates seemed strange. And I don't know.
That's interesting.
This rubbed me the wrong way, and I found it incredibly dull.
Wow.
I wasn't. When we get to spoilers, there is a moment that I actually decided I liked the film for a bit, and then that ended shortly thereafter. I decided I liked it. Then I didn't like it again. And well, you guys probably know what I'm talking about, but we'll talk about that later. So yeah, I'm not in the same boat as you guys. You guys can toss me over. I'm fine. I didn't like it.
No, that's if you don't like it, you didn't
like
like it. I will admit, like with Christopher at the beginning, I was like, oh, I actually at first I almost didn't even really like the acting. I didn't like her or the mother's acting, and I was like, ooh,
Well,
here we go, and then
well,
it just got better.
Yeah, I mean, I was the same because at first I was like, oh, this is an actress who's trying to act blind, and I knew right away when we're I guess we're already in Spoilerville, I guess at this
Yes,
Oh
we
yeah,
are
yeah, yeah. We're in
But,
spoilers, yeah.
but when she has the different pins on different clothing, I was like,
Oh.
oh, she's
Okay.
feeling it, so she knows what's like shirts or what's pants or whatever. And then, but I don't know, it felt like somebody acting like they're blind as opposed to being blind. But I think once we get to the location, I got better, and I think
Me too.
but I think I think as it went along, I kind of understood it because she's very stubborn. That she doesn't want anybody to help her. She doesn't accept people's help, and I think she's just extremely stubborn. In the very beginning, I was like, ugh, But as it went along, I was like, okay, and it made it and then her choices became more interesting because there's just that one moment where she's like, well, if I can get a cut of this money, blah blah blah. Well,
Yes, I love
and I was
that.
like, okay, that's an interesting choice. But then you realize certain choices cause certain situations to happen. And I mean, and I think story wise, I think they did a really good job of sort of having, you have a character who's refuses help. She refuses to sort of do the Paralympics thing, because she doesn't want help from people. But then she asks for help to help steal stuff,
Yeah.
and you have this moment where she has to be dependent on this other person through this app. And you have this other girl who has these really great talents is playing video games. And then like, she's using that. And I just love that storytelling wise, it made sense, and so, and then how it plays out to where she learns to trust people again, she allowed her sort of her disability.
Yeah.
Well, she did.
Because
She
she's
did.
letting them tell her and guide her. Okay, so like what actually makes even more sense based on what Christopher said, like it makes more sense that this girl is good at guiding someone because she is a gamer. And if you're a gamer, you work together in groups and you talk and you communicate and you're like, where are you? Where are you this? But I mean, that's
oh my God. And
I
they
just feel
hammered
like that was
that
wonderful.
I hated
thought that
it.
was
They hammered
you
it. They hammered it so heavy with her having that scene where you guys need to be like, I really disliked that whole idea. I disliked
I thought it was because I've done that. Like I've been like, it's like okay, but that's how it works. That's
I thought
that was poorly done.
I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah,
I know. I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
I felt like,
but that's why I didn't like the film.
Well, I felt like the opening scene was much more ham-fisted with the playing of the TV of this. That just felt like, oh yeah, we get it, we get it. But I think once we got into the story, it became much more natural. I mean, I love the interaction between her and the girl on the computer because just how because they both had attitudes, and
she's like, "Oh, you called me."
I will agree with that. That the chemistry between the two of them made it work. The whole first-person shooter thing really rubbed me the wrong way, and
What?
I
That's like my
I thought that was
favorite.
brilliant.
it's my least favorite.
That was.
But you don't play
perfection
video
for
But
me.
there was
so-
so much that really bothered
Makes
me.
sense.
Like she's walking around this house with the light on her phone shining on her face, which is like the biggest target ever in a dark house is to have the light shining on your face walking around. And I'm like, really, these guys aren't going to see that?
But she doesn't know, obviously.
But,
'cause she's blind.
I totally didn't buy that. And I was never sympathetic to her character because she was such a shit
well,
to
yeah,
begin with.
she is kind of a little
And she
too
never not becomes a shit in my mind. So I never like her. And I'm with her friend who says, if you walk out of that room with that bottle, I'm never going to talk to you again. So I never want to talk to this girl again.
So the real story here is Doc he simply did not like the main character and couldn't relate to her, and that's why you didn't like the movie. Period. If you can't relate to her, or like I thought she was kind of a shit, but I thought she was angry because of what she lost, and I get it.
She was just shit. She had She had a bunch
She's
of.
got a chip.
She had a bunch of chip.
But
Chips on her shoulder and Randall
I thought that
didn't like her.
it was justified.
yeah,
And
I
also
understand it.
it was justified in that like when you're going off to do something underhanded and sneaky, like she's going to go to this house and steal what she can get away with.
Yep.
She don't want her mom. She feeling shitty about herself. She don't want her mom to come. So
She did feel a little guilty. You could tell. Like
Good
she's
so-
yes.
All right.
But
Yeah.
then the other thing is,
All right. I didn't see it.
the opening scenes that Chris was talking about. It seemed to me like there was too much eye contact. There was a couple scenes where I swear she was looking at his eyes.
Yeah.
I saw that too.
And that's what didn't.
That's probably
didn't
what.
get me. And I thought
Good-
about the
good
phone
call.
doc, but I was, I guess I was willing to chalk that up. And most of the time, she was hiding behind something or under something, and so
Under something isn't going to help because the light's going to come. I'm going to shut up.
if it's blocked,
If it's blocked, but it
I
wasn't
just let
blocked.
it
I thought it
go.
was.
I let
I
it
thought it
go.
was.
I let it go because one, she is
a
light
big
sensitive,
forget.
so it might have helped her kind of see or have
you're-
some. She said that.
Plus, it is a house where there are lights on. I think if it was in total darkness, that would be.
But it was dark for a good portion of it. For a good portion
Yeah, but there's
of it.
parts
But
where
they
she's
had lights
hunkered
still,
down behind
yeah.
stuff. So I mean, that's different. I think
down.
it's
I'm
you're not going to
disagreeing with
win.
that.
You're not.
No,
gonna
I'm not
win.
going to win it. I'm saying that while I was watching it, I was like,
if we had to worry about logic, Die Hard would have ended the first 5 minutes of the movie.
Well, that might be
so.
true too.
Mm.
But
Well, did you
I-
notice
it's much better for
that? Did you notice that Deborah, the woman that owned the house,
Yeah, Laura
very
Vander.
small
Laura
part,
Van-
Laura Vandervoort, who started
love her.
Rapid.
Of course. And
Oh,
she was
wow.
in
I
a
didn't catch
show
that.
called Bitten. I met her actually. She's really
Oh,
beautiful.
yeah.
She is so beautiful in real life. Like drop dead. Like her skin is so beautiful. She's like tall. I mean, I was like,
So
damn.
my
So
pet
you
peeve
say you
is
take care of her
when
cat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's just gorgeous. Holy moly.
my pet peeve that I mentioned at the beginning is that I just get really mad at people doing what seems like
what was
making
it that
really
bothered
dumb
you?
decisions. And so the thing here that bothered me was she calls up what was her name, Kelly, this app to help her, and then she won't do anything she tells her to do. Stay where you are. No, I'm running across the room to get out the door. No, don't do that. Don't do that. And that's a
Well,
spoiler. But
she
anyway,
didn't call
She does
Kelly.
that a bunch of times.
She
and
didn't
finally,
call Kelly to tell her what to do. She called Kelly to be her eyes. It's really her own decision to decide
I
what
think
she wants to
I
do.
think that shows you the arc of the character because
I agree.
she
There was
doesn't-
there was justification.
Yeah,
there,
and I was
so-
that too. I was like, I mean, I think if she hadn't run, she probably could have hid.
Yeah.
Those people could have left. But I think that's interesting because she's always like, I'm going to do what I want to do. You know, I'm not going to, and you just got to help me or whatever. And then by the end, that's when she has to have trust and say, okay, I'll do what you need me to do.
Yeah.
And
She
I think
finally
that,
ends
I
up
mean,
out in the
But then her phone
forest.
dies and
It's
she has to
snow
do
and
the
goes-
end
But
of the
but
film without
then
her.
she
so-
still didn't listen to her right at the end too with that last dude. You know, she let him go, which I get though. The last guy
No,
I
but
would
I
have let
think-
go too.
Did she
Well, I
let
think-
him go? I thought she.
Well, she
Well,
she
yeah,
wound up
because
shooting
he-
him, but
Okay.
If he'd have left, it'd have been fun.
Well, I think she was
No, that's
feeling
true.
like that he might have been like her. He's just
he
in
didn't
this
want anyone to die.
situation,
Yeah.
and he wasn't like the other people that were
Well,
being assholes. Because
I saw it differently
Okay.
because by the time it was his turn, her phone died, so she didn't have Kelly, so she didn't have the courage to shoot him until.
No,
she
I
had
felt
to-
like she's
that's how
like,
I
please
saw it.
don't. No,
That's how I
Doc.
saw
That's
it.
totally wrong because she's like, don't move, don't go, don't go, don't go.
Bring
She
your glasses, Doc.
see, like for
I must need to.
for me.
That's all a different film.
Because for me, she wanted him. She's like, we're gonna wait for the cops. She wanted him to get
She
busted.
didn't want to shoot him. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because she
But-
felt like he was different than the other guys.
Yeah,
He
you guys.
wasn't-
I kind of feel like you're supporting what I'm saying, but go ahead.
Not really.
Not
I think-
really,
Not if you're being negative Nanny. No.
I'm not being a negative. I'm saying
I
that's
know we're like, I didn't expect that I was
no.
going to be defending this movie as much
Kelly-
as I am,
Kelly was
but I'm
telling-
like,
Okay, so Kelly was.
Oh
telling
yeah,
her
she
to
didn't.
shoot. Kelly was
she-
telling her to shoot him,
mhm.
and she was going to. And then when the phone died, that's when she changed her mind to say,
no, I don't
And-
think she was going to shoot him.
Well, she didn't shoot him
she
while
didn't
he was on the
shoot
phone.
him. No, she wasn't. No, she wasn't. She didn't shoot him. She waited because she said shoot him, and she didn't shoot him, and she didn't.
waited
She
until
said
he
several
went
times,
for
yeah.
the taser.
Mm-hmm.
"Well, yes, that's true, but that's not."
She
what
could
I'm-
have shot him in that time, and she didn't because she was listening to them. She knew who he was. She knew he was the one that was like, "Why are we doing this? I didn't sign up for this." It was obvious he didn't.
Well, I
want-
think that.
Yeah,
I think she saw herself in him.
probably.
you know?
Yeah, he's doing something wrong, but he doesn't want to go as far as the other guys. Now, I will give you one thing that I thought was weird was Kim coming in at the end. I was like, oh. Is it done? Okay, that was kind of weird. But I thought it was a plot twist. I thought when she picked up the phone and said, yes, it was, I thought she was actually working with him the whole time for a second.
Well, I guess.
Well,
I guess.
that would have been more interesting.
That would have been
Well, they
interesting.
throw that in there because of her. She tries to make a deal with them, so they might, right? It makes you question.
He wasn't going to. He was going to. Well,
So was
Yeah.
he
Alright.
wasn't?
Oh, I think he was going to.
Was he the ex-husband?
Yeah.
Okay. So why?
He's
Why
trying to steal his own shit.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, why wouldn't he just give? Wouldn't he know the code to his own safe?
She
I don't know.
changed it.
she changed it. Yeah.
She changed it. Oh, okay. I might have missed that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think a lot of it is that this is money. I don't know what they were up
It's
to. But this is
ill-gotten money. Yeah.
Exactly. So it was
He
like it
said
was money.
something
That,
like you can't steal money that's stolen. Or
Yep.
something like
he
that.
knew he was
You
never
can't
going to
call
get
it.
any of it except for this way. So. hmm
It was a dumb plot. I
don't
did
know, I
not like
liked it.
I got bored.
I wish we could have
Oh.
seen
You got
like.
bored?
I
Wow,
was
you
bored.
watched a totally different movie.
Yeah, you
I
did.
must have.
Did.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
right.
For
There,
you.
there's another film that involves a person with a certain issue that I had more problems with, but
Okay.
Uh-oh, wait, what was that? Uh-oh.
No. We'll save that for another podcast.
Another-
All right, let's go ahead and wrap this up. Let's give our final thoughts, our score 1 to 5, and our favorite scene. Christopher G. Mohr, sir, you are up first.
Don't listen to Doc. Listen to Reason. No, I know. No,
Reason.
Artist
Reason.
Instincts. No, I'm just kidding. No. I mean, I can understand how. I mean, it's a very. I will say it's a very simplistic plot. There's but I can understand because, like I said in the very beginning, I had what Doc felt about the character in the very beginning. I just, oh God, we got to deal with this character the whole movie. But I grew to understand her a little bit more as it went along, just seeing the character, and then once the situation started happening, it became more interesting and more intriguing, and how this person who's can't see, how are they going to get out of this situation, and having to be dependent on someone else to be your eyes. I was just like, oh wow, that's a really interesting concept, and I feel like it did a really good job in sort of using the plot and using the characters' talents and stuff to work together to get out of these certain situations, even when the one character seems to not really want to listen. But I think that's well, I think that's how but I feel like she did have an arc by the end of it to where I actually smiled at the very end and how it ends.
I'll ask you
'cause
about that after.
We have a reunion. But anyway, I liked it.
Oh,
I mean, it's not perfect. But but it's very simple, and I think it's in simple. I think it comes down to just the storytelling, and I think this does a better job than some films when it comes to characters when they have some kind of disability of some type, and how they have to deal with situations with bad guys and that kind of thing. And with her being sort of like this sort of gray character in the beginning, that makes it even more interesting than just being some woman who's scared of everybody and having to get out of the situation. So, so I'll give it a 4 out of 5. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was entertaining. I was definitely not bored. I think I was very tense throughout certain situations, and yeah, at times I was frustrated with her decisions. But I think that's kind of cool that you have a character who doesn't really follow A to B how characters are supposed to act and react. And I think once they start connecting it gets more interesting. I will say favorite scene would have to be the scene where she's basically working with the girl like she's the character, like she's playing a video game. I like that first interaction, and her having to sort of help her to sort of shoot. Oh, turn Doc's camera off. I really like that a lot. And as someone that's played video games and stuff, I thought that was probably one of the better ways of having interaction that feels kind of natural when you have a character who plays video games and utilizing somebody using those talents to help someone else out. I thought that was one of the better brilliant ways of doing that I've seen in a while. So that's my favorite scene. Despite whatever Doc faces he makes.
So I agree completely with Christopher. I think this is a great. I mean, look, do I think this movie's for everybody? No, because I don't think any movie's for everybody. Apparently, Doc has thoughts. Not good ones, but he has thoughts on the movie. I mean,
what is this?
I'm kidding.
Oh,
I'm
look
kidding.
at that. Stuck right in my back. Oh
I'm
my god.
kidding, kinda. What?
No,
but no. So, but it's. I don't know how. I don't know how someone was bored with it either. It was like there were moments I was like, I can't stand this. I can't stand those tense moments. A lot of times they just frustrate me to the point I'm like, let's just get over with it. And yeah, the character is frustrating at times, but she's very young. She had everything going for her, and then due to some, genetic macular degeneration, I feel like she was dealt kind of a poop hand of cards. So I think that she really did have an arc. She went from just being down and really kind of becoming a bad person to getting her strength back. And I don't know, I kind of liked it. I liked how she was going to take her gamer friend on that first ride with her. I think it's awesome. I agree with Christopher. I felt like the whole gaming thing felt very natural, and it was a natural progression because I'm really good at directing people too because of it. I'm like, no, okay, a little bit to your left. Okay, yeah, right there. Oh, so good.
What are you doing? That's a different movie.
Whoa. It's more like O for me.
Okay, so it's funny. Anyway, I'm gonna give it a 3.75. So Christopher was the same scene as me, but I really also did like just the first time they interact and how she introduces her to the sliding glass door too. I loved it, and how she's getting all mad and then it opens. I don't know. I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff, I guess. And it kind of showed that the gamer girl also, even though she was like a military girl, she probably had a little sketchy past too. So I don't know. I liked all I think a lot of people will enjoy it.
No, I think so too. I think people enjoy it. Unless you're me.
Unless
Mohr, sir.
Yeah.
What was your final thoughts? Your score and favorite scene?
I like this. I like the interplay between the characters and how the fact that she couldn't see played out, but also how when her phone goes dead and then Kelly starts going through normal channels to try to get somebody to help her. Maybe she did that before the phone went dead. I don't know. But anyway, I just loved the way it played out. So I was never bored. I was in a lot of tension, even though I had a little bit of apprehension at the beginning. It once she got in the cab, I thought it played out, especially when she's talking to her mom on the phone.
Oh yes, I forgot. Oh yeah, and then he's like,
says,
"I
got 3 bars."
No,
Okay.
I don't need your bars.
Anyway, and I'm a little torn on the favorite scene. I love Kim Coates, so I kind of wanted to say when Kim Coates walked in the door, I just went, all right, now we got a real evil bastard here. So, but I'm going to say when the cop visits and when the cop's just getting ready to walk out, and she gets the message, and you knew that message was going to come. You just didn't know when it was going to come. And so I thought I really enjoyed that.
It took the one scene I liked. The one scene.
Jeez Louise.
You can pick this.
Just in case you missed me, Doc.
Oh man, we didn't even mention her. Didn't even mention her until you said it was your favorites.
Twins.
It was,
I forgot.
So important.
3.75.
Oh yeah.
So important to the plot that we didn't even mention her until it was a favorite scene. Damn you. All right. No, like I said, this movie didn't register with me. I didn't care for the character. I found her obnoxious and never felt any sympathy for her, so I couldn't get behind her story. Didn't care. I didn't have an appreciation for the first-person shooter thing, and that was a big part of the third act. And I never really felt that, she had a redemption or an arc, and the dogs are barking me away. So I didn't enjoy this. I'm sorry. So I'm giving it a 2.
A 2?
Give me a 2. I really did not like this. It's now technically it's better, but as story, I didn't like it. I didn't like it.
A 2.
And my favorite scene.
Disrespectful.
And my favorite scene, I really liked when the police officer showed up and kept at her, realizing she wasn't telling the truth, but also couldn't tell it. From her perspective, couldn't tell the truth. So she couldn't press her the way she wanted to, and she acted that scene so well. The police officer who is not even, is she even listed on the
Emmy
credits?
Pigford.
All right. Oh, yes, down there. Yes. Wow, she looks so different there. Emily Pickford. And I thought she was the best thing about the movie. I really liked her because she wasn't in the thing long enough.
She held her own against that guy.
So. For a while. So there you go. I'm going to shut up now because you guys don't want me to say more poop.
Oh, it's okay. We all can't like everything,
We've promoted it enough to where I think it can handle some bad press.
Yeah, I think everybody else is going to ignore me and listen to the review. I'm pretty sure of that. That's what's been happening for years.
3 out of 4 reviewers recommend.
What did you say? 3 out of 4 what?
3 out of 4 reviewers recommend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, 3 out of 4.
3 out of 4, Dennis.
I bet Doc's like, I'm so glad we're back. I am so happy to be back. It's so awesome.
All right, well, there you go. That's our review for Steve for Me, playing now on Shudder.
I was thinking, what a good movie to come back on.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
wow.
I'm like, okay, well, there's always next week.
There might be another one.
always next week. Unfortunately. But anyway, so there's our review for See For Me. It's playing now on Shudder. Check it out. You have Shudder, so there's no reason for you not to.
I would definitely check it out.
Yes,
for sure.
Yes,
and you can tell us if you agree with Doc or you agree with the cool people. No, I'm just I'm sure there might be people that might not like it. So because it is very simplistic, but tell us what you think. If you liked it or you didn't like it, we want to hear.
Yeah, but you talked about it not necessarily being a horror film, and it isn't in the supernatural sense, but home invasion often gets thrown in to being horror, and but it usually gets more horror the more they dress up or get masked or something, and these are just regular thieves. But at the same time, it works. Yeah. yeah, The Strangers is, that is truly a horror film. So.
Yeah.
And these guys weren't the reasoning wise a little played down, for a horror aspect as well. Or in respect,
It's
to
very normal. Like even just the kills are like boop. Pew,
Although
pew.
somebody does get their head bashed in.
Oh,
there's a couple.
oh
there's a couple
yeah.
good things.
She
There's
has a
couple good
moment.
You don't
There's a
see it,
moment.
but it's
Uh-huh.
implied.
Yeah, there's a couple. Yeah, the people die. So it's worth watching. So check it out and let us know what you think. Leave a comment.
Yeah, let us know your
down
thoughts.
below.
Yeah.
Jeff, sir, it's so good to have you back after your vacation for months.
It is. It is. And my
welcome.
computer worked like a finely tuned machine.
Yeah, just had to give it an hour to kind of wake up and come. But Christopher, thank you for joining me as well.
Yep. Thanks for having us.
Always
Great
fun.
to see everybody.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's say a good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.